Welcome back to another Wrath of the Righteous build video. Today we're talking about Camellia. My name's Artie, and as I said before in my other videos, I like to put my own spin on things. I usually play on core. That's what I usually do the builds for. It will definitely work for anything below that. Above that, I haven't tested it, so I can't say for certain it'll work. It should do pretty good in theory, but you know, haven't tested, so you can't say yes. My spin on Camellia, we're gonna take our second level in the Shaman Spirit Hunter, which this is what she starts with. She starts with skill focused trickery, so we're gonna keep trickery going up. She's very good at picking locks, and she's got weapon finesse. It's really nice. She's got high dex, so using her dex to on attack rolls is a-okay with me. Her second level, we take into the Spirit Hunter as well. Only thing special we get here is for her Hex, we pick up Iceplant. We get a +2 natural armor bonus. You know, our focus with her is going to be being up in the front lines, so these early levels, we're going to pick some defensive things and defensive classes to help that out as much as possible. And then we're going to go into doing some damage. So Iceplant level 2. And there's also a nice, I think it's a ring at the very start of the game that you can buy that I think it gives you another +1 or +2 to AC. If you have Iceplant, I can't remember exactly what it is, but pairs well with her for sure. Almost made for her, seems. So level 3, we are gonna do this weird thing, and we're gonna go into Witch, and we're gonna go Stigmatized Witch. This is really gonna add a lot of AC to her as well in the early game here. We'll see why in a second. So we get 3 skill points here. We want our mobility to go up to 3, but we don't want to sacrifice trickery. So we have our trickery always stay at our level, and then now we have mobility at 3. So we're going to focus on persuasion otherwise. We're going to catch persuasion up to our trickery, and then we're going to use perception, trickery, and mobility. We're just going to level those 3 up the rest of the way. So her level 3 feat, we are going with trusty old dodge. It's boring, but we get a +1 to AC. Here we're going for the lizard familiar again because we get a +1 AC, and then we're getting a +2 to persuasion. Like I said, we're going to be putting points into persuasion here in a few minutes, so that's very nice to have. Which all familiars get +2 to perception. I think I said persuasion. It's perception. And then we're also going to take Iceplant. Oh, I already took Iceplant. Well, apparently because they're 2 different classes, the Iceplant stack, and they do stack on your character too. So you'll get a +2 bonus for Iceplant, and then you'll get another +2 bonus from Iceplant. So very nice to us. For our curse, I just took Wolf Scarred Face. It really doesn't really have a drawback that I've seen anyway. There's everything else has a pretty substantial drawback. Well, you can work around them, but they definitely have a drawback. But Wolf Scarred Face doesn't really have any negatives to spells or skills or anything like that. You do get a bite, which we're not worried about. That's not really going to do much for us, except for adding another attack, which is always nice and appreciated, but it's not something we're focused on. We're just trying to minimize our deficiencies here. For spells, we want to take Mage Armor, and basically we only have 13 Charisma base with her. Charisma is what the Stigmatized Witch casts off of. So really we're going to be their spontaneous caster too. So they just get whichever ones you pick here and you can cast them most likely we're just going to be using it for the mage armor. I guess we'll pick like a remove sickness, just, or you know what? Let's pick Unbreakable Heart. That way, if we need it in a clinch, we can cast it. It's a short buff, but you know, it gives the morale to mind affecting. And I think it does not affect mind affecting effects based on positive emotion. I think if they have a mind affecting effect, that's a tongue twister. It will take it off, but I can't remember 100%, so don't quote me on that. So there we go. Base stats. I don't have any gear on her, just so you know we can see her base stuff. So level 3, she's got a base armor class of 20, which is, you know, appreciated. That's very nice. And then level 4, we're going to go into a barbarian here, and we're going to go into instinctual. She has very nice wisdom, and with the instinctual warrior at level 2, we can get this cutting illusion, I guess, where you can get your wisdom to AC and your CMD, which is nice, you know, so avoiding being tripped or disarmed. And then also we get uncanny dodge, so we can't be caught flat-footed, which is very, very nice. But I like this most for the wisdom to AC. And then, you know, of course we get the rage too. So here we're going to increase her dex first, and then the other 4, I'm going to put them into wisdom. So our dex going to stay at 20, besides any buffs or gear that will increase that as we go through. As far as the baseline, we're going to stick to her dex staying at 20, and then we're going to increase our wisdom from there, which is going to bring that to 20. So it's going to end at a +5 as well. So we're going to keep our trickery at our level, and then we're going to boost persuasion up till it catches up, and then we're going to go persuasion, trickery, mobility. All right, we got our fast movement now. Can wear shields, which, you know, we already had that proficiency, but it's still there, I guess. Second level of instinctual warrior. Keep our trickery up, and we're almost caught up in persuasion. One more level and we'll be caught. So here we're going to go weapon focus, and we're going to keep her into rapier. It's made for her. Now we get our uncanny dodge and our cutting illusion. So see, now our AC goes up to 24. You know, as you buff yourself and get gear, that's definitely going to go up. And then level 5, or wait, what? Oh, sorry. It's because I wasn't picking anything yet. I'm like, level 5. Should be level 6. There you go. Now we're going to go the rest into Slayer. Slayer? What the hell? We're actually going to make her into a dual wielding rapier. So from here on out, we're basically going to focus on offense now. So her defense is pretty solidified with buffs and gear. You know, her AC is going to be really good. Well, not to the moon and back, but, you know, good defense is a better offense. That's what the old Rams would say. And they won a Super Bowl. So we're going to go with Slayer. I'm not going to pick any subclasses or whatnot. We're just going to go base Slayer, which is still really, really strong. Whoops. We want to catch our persuasion up. So now persuasion is caught up. Or why do I keep saying persuasion? Perception. Goodness. And now we got our study target. Study target, we can use it as a move action. Cast it on, you know, the big baddie in front of us. And we get that +1 bonus to weapon attacks and damage. I don't ever cast it. I usually just rely on sneak attacks. The second paragraph here says, you know, if a Slayer deals sneak attack damage to the target, he studies the target, allowing him to apply his study target bonus against the target from then on. So basically your first attack, you're not getting the bonus. If you hit, you do your sneak attack damage, which we don't have yet. I think it's next level, or maybe 2 levels. Maybe, I think it's 2 levels. Once that sneak attack damage, then you get those bonuses. So, I'm a boomer. it's too much for me to worry about to try to micromanage. So I just let the sneak attack dice do it for me. Alright, we gotta go all the way down here. Whoa. We're not going down there. Sticking with the Slayer. Alright, perception, trickery, and mobility. I just stick with mobility. You know, our dex is really good. And it helps us, you know, moving in tight quarters up front, which we're going to be, so. And you checks as well. It's nice to have. Though it's not going to be max, so it's not going to be super awesome. Here I go for, you know, these nice green check marks or thumbs up, as you will. But I go with outflank here. You know, this is, it's pretty good for me, but I think I like to take it on my tanks, you know, because they're going to be in the front lines. And our super OP, we're only focused on damage. If we get hit, we're going to fall over because we're made out of paper. That they can get the +4 bonus to attacks on when you're flanking a creature. So really, we're kind of like taking this to be the team player. But it does help us out, but the focus is for that main damage dealer that doesn't know how to do anything else. So combat style, like I said, we're going to go to 2-weapon and taking our 2-weapon fighting. It just reduces the penalties. As you can see, the penalty for your primary hand lessens to 2 or lessens by 2, and the one from your offhand lessens by 6. So now I think it's a -2, -4 to your attack rolls when you're wielding 2 weapons. Once you get 2-weapon fighting, you can use 2 weapons if you like. I usually do, because at this point she's not really stacked a lot of damage yet. We're going to be relying on eventually her dex to damage, and then her sneak attack, which is not really built up much yet because we aka wasted some levels in the early game to increase our AC. But we got to stay alive. Somebody's got to stay alive. Alright, we're going Slayer 3 and increasing our wisdom, as we said. Mobility, trickery, and perception. Now we get our sneak attack. So level 8. So we're probably getting to Dresden now. Attacking Dresden, yeah. And we get our sneak attacks, which is good because Dresden's a lot of fighting. So get our study targets for free. Not having to worry about that. Got another D6 of damage per hit. All right, Slayer. We should stay selected. Our big 3. Level 9. Some nice juicy improved 12-weapon fighting. It looks very scrumptious. I don't take it here. I take it at actually 2 more levels because I think our Bab right now I think is 7 because we lost one from Shaman, and then we lost one for taking the Stigmatic, the Witch. So yeah, we should be at a 7, which is okay. But as you can see, we get another attack with our offhand, but it's at a -5 penalty, so that attack's going to be at a 2. I like to wait a little bit, and plus, combat reflex is really nice for us. Outflank, we can get some attacks of opportunity. Let's go there. So in addition, whenever you score a critical hit against a flank creature, it provokes an attack opportunity from your ally. So your damage dealer has outflank, hopefully. Should have it by now. I usually focus it between 5 and 7, but when they crit, then we can get our attack of opportunity. So it's nice to have those extra attacks per round. Action economy. Do as much as we can with as little as possible. Level 9, I like to have her get some more utility. Weakening wound. So now, as we said, we're doing sneak attacks. So now, anytime we do a sneak attack, reduce the damage reduction on that creature. These demons have a lot of damage reduction, so it's nice to have some ways to get around that. It lasts for 2 rounds, and it's reduced importantly by our character level, not by our slayer level, or this is usually a rogue, not by our rogue level. So we reduce all of it by 9 right now, which is nice. And the penalty doesn't stack, that's fine. Hopefully we can hit them at least once every 2 rounds to get our sneak attack in there. Or get a sneak attack at least once every 2 rounds, which we should. Right, level 10. Come on, Slayer, stay selected for me, buddy. 5th level of Slayer. Ability, Trickery, and Perception. Very exciting level. Level 10 this is. Yeah, we get to pick nothing but the skills, you know. It is what it is. We still get that Bab, which is a nice benefit of Slayer. It's full Bab progression, so every level we put in there, we're getting another +1 to attack. Alright, so level 11 here. Proof critical is pretty juicy, but I like to do double slice first. So double slice says your offhand weapon while dual wielding, you add your strength bonus to damage rolls made by your offhand. Normally you only add half your strength modifier. Well, why the hell we want to add our strength modifier to our damage rolls? Well, it's only strength of 11, so we have a +0. Well, in our mythic spot, we're going to take weapon finesse mythic, so it's going to be our dex to damage. So it'll be with our base, it's going to be a +5 to damage. Or before it was a +2. Half of 5 is 2.5, round down. Now with double slice, it's going to be the full amount, +5. Very nice. Doesn't sound like much, but you know, with two weapon fighting, so we're gonna be able to get a lot of hits in. So it's like death by what is it, 1,000 slashes or something? I don't know. 1,000 paper cuts. There you go. Sounds good. Then we're gonna go for our improved weapon fighting with our combat style feat. Now we're going to get that second attack with our offhand. So I think we have 3. No, we're still at two attacks with our main hand. And now we have 2 attacks with our offhand. So we got 4 attacks each round. It's very nice. They're not horrible either. You know, they're not that far off from a full fighter. Bab progression. Oh my gosh, full Bab progression. There you go. Alright, Slayer. Come on, baby. And Wisdom, now we got a +4, which adds that to our AC, which is nice. And again, we don't get to pick anything special, but we do get Swift, Study Target Swift. So now, at least we're not having to use our move action. If we're not able to get close enough to attack something, you know, you can move to where you need to go, or cast your swift action to, you know, that's the baddie I'm gonna go to, or that's gonna be the one that I'm gonna be closest to in the next round. So I can put that swift action on them now. Very situational, but doesn't really happen that often, I find. Usually you're close enough to be able to get into them, but it's nice when you need it. 13. Now we're gonna get that crit. Let's get that crit. You know, rapiers are good with crit. Got a nice crit range. Improve critical, you know, you can gain it multiple times, so the effects don't stack, blah blah blah. Doesn't stack with any other. It just doubles your threat range. I think they're 18 to 20, so now we can crit from a 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, which is very, very nice. And with our Slayer, I'm gonna do, you know, there's some juicy things down here, I think. Well, I guess it's not all that wonderful down there. A slippery mine and stuff like that. But here, I'm a sucker for a blind fight. These demons like gazes. They have concealment, so we can roll with advantage on these blurs and mirror images. Well, I don't know if it does with mirror image, but with blur and displacement and stuff like that. So, but mostly for the gaze. A lot of those gazes that demons have give you negative levels, and we don't like that. We don't like it. Alright, another level Slayer. Slayers for the rest. Mobility, trickery, perception. And our wonderful level 14. We get to pick nothing. But we get another bad progression, you know. It's not nothing just because we didn't get to pick something. Every time you go to the store, it doesn't mean you have to go pick something. That's what I gotta tell my daughter all the time. Level 15, we're gonna pick up our greater weapon fighting. Now we're gonna have our 3 attacks with our offhand. Again, it's at a negative 10 penalty, but you know, that's okay. I think our BAB is 13 here. Yeah, it's 2 behind, so 13. So it'd be at a +3, our last attack. And here, I like Crippling Strike. Character with disability, when they sneak attack, an opponent damaged by one of her sneak attacks also takes 2 points of strength damage, which is very nice. Now it's kind of a toss-up to me. Dispelling attack, I noticed that they don't seem to have, well, all of the enemies that I've encountered, not many of them have a lot of actually casted defensive buffs on them that you're going to dispel. Maybe 1 or 2 here and there, but I feel like it's kind of a waste to use that. It's just, I don't see a lot of casted stuff on themselves a lot. A lot of this stuff is permanent, which is kind of crappy for us, but you know, you got to give us a challenge, all these 1000 IQ players out here. But the Crippling Strike or Wearing Strike, this is where it's the same thing as crippling, but instead of 1 point of strength damage, you're given them 1 point of constitution. The reason I go for strength is because a lot of the enemies, it seems, are using their strength for damage as well. And it's 2 points of strength damage, not just 1 point of con damage. So every time you hit them with a sneak attack, you're basically reducing their 2 attack by 1. So you're reducing their attack bonus by 1, which is very nice. But that's the reasoning why I take Crippling Strike instead of Wearing Strike. But I could see somebody wanting the other as well. That's our advanced talent. Come on, Slayer 11. Level 16. And Wisdom. And 3. A lot of clickies. No new stuff. Just fine for us. We're okay with that. We're grown folk around here. Level 17. Now I like to go Piranha Strike. Oh, well, you know, we're gonna take a penalty to our attack rolls if we want to. We don't always have to, but it's gonna add to damage, which is always a plus. How should I say? How can I say it? In total, it's a damage increase, even though you're gonna miss a couple more, but you're gonna do a lot more damage when you hit. So in the end, it's actually more total damage. And here we're gonna go for a combat trick. And we're gonna go hammer the gap. Hammer the gap, why the hell are we taking that? We do have quite a few attacks. And each time you make an attack, you get some more damage and more damage. So because we have a lot of attacks, I like to take hammer the gap. That's my reasoning there. I want to do damage and we've been trying to do damage with her since level 6. That's when we started focusing on damage. So we're keep focusing. We're gonna keep focusing. That's what I'm saying. All right, level 18. Yay, we're staying on Slayer. Taking our 3 big boys. And we don't get to pick nothing at the store. Our 3 skills. Level 19. So the things I can see taken here. I could see us taking, you know, combat mobility. We're going to do a lot of movement inside a lot of creatures and getting a +4 bonus to armor class for attacks opportunity, because we may need to go save our archer in the back line because he's getting pounded because some things flew down from the sky. We need to get back there. Well, we got to disengage from the front line, which means we're going to take an attack of opportunity. So getting that +4 dodge bonus to the armor class for that is pretty nice. I see some people getting critical focus. I think our attack's pretty good with our buffs. You know, buffs make a huge difference to you know, AC, your skill, your attributes, and into your 2 hits. So I don't take crit focus, but I could see people wanting to take crit focus. Nothing wrong with that at all. What I like to take is improved initiative. I want to make sure that she goes as early in the turn order as possible. So I like to get that +4 to initiative checks. For our last Slayer, or I think this is, oh wait, no, I did this backwards, sorry. Or seize the moment. So when we're gonna crit, which we're gonna crit quite often, 15 to 20 we can crit. So our other crit characters can make attacks opportunity. So I would only take seize the moment if you have some other characters that are, you know, threatened, or they're threatening the same creature, and they're using crit as well. I like to use crit because I like to see big numbers. But okay, so this is where we're gonna take our combat trick and we're gonna go improve initiative. Sorry, I had it backwards last time. I guess I could have still done it, pretending like I knew what I was doing, but I think we all know that's not the case. So I still like improved initiative. We want to go first. We're as close to first as we can. And we get our quarry here. I don't really use this because it's a standard action. If we ever got the swift action quarry, I would use it, but I don't want to use my whole standard action to get a +2 insight bonus on attack rolls and automatically confirming my crits. I don't know, I think that's just a waste. Not a waste. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but I think I can do better things with my limited actions in a round. Obviously, if I can reach them. If I couldn't reach them, then yeah, this would be good to do. Just like we said about the study target. You know, that's the guy I want to go to, but I'm not going to be able to get him. Well, let me study target him with my swift action, and I'm going to quarry him with my standard action. So don't get me wrong, it does have the situations, I don't hardly ever use it. And level 20, taking our last Slayer level, bringing our wisdom up to 20 as well. Taking our last big boys here. And at the end, we go to the store and we don't get to pick anything. You know, you got to be grown to use this build. That's what I'm saying. That's what it comes down to. You got to be grown. We got some cool colors and lights. And the mythic levels. Like I said in other videos, if you've got a class that's using rage, I would take limitless rage. Quality of life thing for me. But I don't like to have to worry about all the rounds of rage I need. Plus, we're only taking 2 levels of barbarian and instinctual warrior. So we're not going to get many rounds of it. But with limitless rage, we don't have to worry about rounds. We don't get many hit points from it. But you know, that's not what we want it for. We want to be able to use rage whenever the hell we want, as long as we're not fatigued. Level 2, we got our mythic finesse, or weapon finesse mythic. Instead of our strength for damage, we're using our dex for damage. Makes 100% sense. We have 11 strength, and we have as high as we can go with buffing and everything of dex. So we want our dex to damage. And okay, now level 3 seems a bit strange. Elemental barrage. What the hell we need elemental barrage for? So what this does, every time you deal energy damage to a creature, you apply an elemental mark to it. If during the next 3 rounds you deal energy damage to a marked target with a different type of energy, the target is dealt additional divine damage. The damage is 1d6 per mythic rank, so 3d6 at this point. The reason I picked this up is there is a nice rapier you can find. I can't remember the name of this place you find it, and it's pretty hidden. If you're not paying attention, you can miss it, but there's a pretty cool rapier that has shock, flaming, what is it? Shock, flaming, acid, and cold, I think it's all 4. So basically, you're going to be doing extra divine damage every time, because that counts, because you are dealing energy damage to the creature. So you will get this extra divine damage every time too. That's why I picked that up. It's a nice little addition to damage. Pretty cool thing that, you know, synergizes well with just a weapon that they have in the game, which I think is pretty much meant for her. Or if some chance you have a main character with a rapier, but she was made around the rapier, so it looks like it was made for her in the game. In the way it's presented, it's meant to be found and feel special when you find it. All right, level 4 mythic, we're doing the 2-weapon fighting. We want to use 2 rapiers and be better at that. There's nothing better than reducing those penalties to attack rolls by 2. So now we have a -2 on our main hand and a -2 on our offhand, instead of, what was it, a -4 and was it -4 -4? Yeah, because they're not light weapons, not daggers or kukris. So mythic rank 5. Now we're gonna put some more emphasis on our AC. Archmage armor is pretty good. Whenever you cast the mage armor spell on yourself, you get an extra AC equal to your mythic rank. So normally a mage armor spell is a +4 to AC. Now once we pick this up, it's going to be a +9 to AC. And then as we go up in mythic rank, it's going to increase by 1 every time. So we're really going to take advantage of that which level we took to use our mage armor on there. Or we can use it from a scroll, or you can use it from a potion as well. Doesn't matter how you get it on yourself, as long as you're the one doing it on yourself. Somebody else can't do it to you. Level 6, we're doing our improved crit mythic. We have a good crit range of 15 to 20. why not increase that multiplier? So now instead of a +2 multiplier when we crit, we're getting a +3 multiplier when we crit, which is very nice. Nothing more to say about that. You know, we want to crit, and now we want to crit even more because we can do way more damage. Mythic rank 7. I would have liked to take this earlier, but I like to take this Mythic Elemental Barrage early, you know, just because it's cool, I guess. And I think holding off on Archmage Armor is kind of foolish to me, I think. Getting this as early as we can because we can't wear armor, so. And by this time, the enemies are getting pretty difficult. And doesn't matter how, almost doesn't matter how much AC you have unless you're like full blown on AC stacking. I want to have 100 AC. Things will be able to hit you. But having 5 more AC just from this is very nice because you're going to be casting our Mage Armor on yourself anyway. So what does Defensive Study do? So right now when we sneak attack or we do the study target cast from ability, we're getting a +2 to damage, +2 to attack rolls. Now once we add Defensive Study, we're getting that +2 to AC as well against only that one target though. So that's a one caveat of, you know, taking it a little bit later. It's okay. It's only one creature that you're going to get that plus to AC from. So it's definitely useful, but a little more situational. If we got +2 all the time, like if we just had it up and we got +2 to everybody, that'd be awesome. Right, it doesn't really make much sense with study target. Study target is for that one target, so I totally understand. Then we're gonna go level 8, go into our Piranha Strike Mythic. So Piranha Strike, as we know, you take a -1 to attack rolls, and you get a +2 to damage. When we take this, now we get a -1 to attack, but we get a +3 to damage. So every time our what is it? I can't remember once we're adding attacks or whatever. So when your base attack bonus, oh, there we go, reaches +4, and for every +4 afterwards, bonus to damage rolls increases by 3 rather than +2. So at a +4 attack, base attack bonus, we'd be getting a -2 to attack rolls and a +6 to damage. As we said, it's always an increase to total damage if you do the numbers. And one of my favorites that they added recently is Unrelenting Assault. Every turn, as long as you make at least one melee attack, you get a stacking +2 damage to +2 bonus to damage it rolls with melee weapons. So as long as it's lasting 5 rounds, you're getting a +10 to damage every time, every turn, as long as you're attacking. If you can't reach somebody and you just have to walk, and you're gonna lose it, which really sucks. But most of the time, there's so many enemies in fights. It's not usually only a couple way spread out enemies. Usually there's quite a few. So every round you should be able to get attacks in on something. Shoot, I would probably just charge, take that hit to AC. Just to keep that up. And then last but not least, I take Improved Initiative Mythic. We want to go first. I mentioned that already. We have a plus initiative already with the +4. We got a high dex bonus. So we should be getting close to being up there to one of the first people going. Once we get this, we're adding our mythic rank to that as well. So 10 more. So damn there, we should be number 1, number 2 up on the turn list, which is really good for us. We want to be there. We want to be the one initiating the fights. We don't want to sit back and have them walk past us and go to the back line. We want to get up in their grill, and we want them to attack us, and they're going to take damage from us. So that's our build for Camellia. I really like this build. Kind of switches up not halfway through. Early game, we're focusing on the AC, and then from then on, we're just going straight damage. Slayer is pretty versatile class to me. I like that it's doing the sneak attack damage, adds a lot. There are enemies, that are immune to sneak attack damage, but that's okay. We're not the main damage dealer. That's all we want to do, and that's all we can do. We got some versatility in our kit, so we're doing, as you can see, 4 attacks with our main hand, 3 attacks with our offhand. So we got baseline 7 attacks. Add a haste to that, you get another attack. So we're doing all good for ourselves. Getting some, I think these are +2 and then +4. So we're getting it pretty decent with no armor, as you can see. This isn't adding anything, this is just for looks. We're not adding anything to our stats or whatnot, so just so you can see the base, this is what we start with. Anything you add to it as far as gear and stuff like that is just a huge bonus, because even our starting point is really good. If you guys like the video, let me know in the comments. Subscribe. I'll be doing some more build videos with the companions, and then I'll start focusing on my main characters that I come up with some cool stuff there. I've done some cool things already. Wanted to wait for the game to fully come out, just so they can finalize everything there. But the companions, I wanted to get some stuff out, so that way people can get a couple ideas of when the game comes out, how they're going to build their character. Let me know in the comments how you guys like it, what you change, what you guys like to do with her. Do you like to do something totally different? Make her a ranged character or something? That'd be cool to hear. All right, you guys have a good one, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.